Beating the game after 75 hours, one word to describe the narrative of Assassin's Creed Shadows is disappointing. Assassin's Creed Shadows had the potential to truly tell a meaningful story, one that could have reconnected longtime OG fans. But somewhere along the way, that vision was lost. The dual protagonist structure, while ambitious, creates more distance than depth. Their stories rarely complement each other in a way that feels purposeful or earned. That disconnect is only made worse by a non-linear timeline which results in bad pacing that makes it hard to stay grounded in the narrative. And then there are the technical choices, lifeless cutscenes.
A strange woman grabbed me.
Wait a minute!
Took me to a place with lots of statues, but I ran away.
What does she look like?
I don't know. A woman. I never saw her before.
Go home now. Don't stop until you get there, and don't speak to anyone on the way.
I know a secret way from here. She will never see me, and I can run really fast.
Immersion-breaking black screens. And dialogue that struggles to carry any sort of emotional weight.
Everything is corrupt. Corruption made me. Corruption put my mother's head on a pike. So I'll burn it all. And if the flames take me with them, good. See, this is the best thing. The samurai will be ruined. The poor will rise up. And I will be gone.
Grenade out.
See you, chump.
These issues don't just weaken the story, they reveal a deeper uncertainty about what Assassin's Creed wants to be. So let's start with the biggest issue, which is this game has an identity crisis. Is it a stealth game? Sometimes. Is it a samurai game? Kind of. Is it about the Assassin's Creed Brotherhood? Eventually, like 15 hours in? The Assassin's Creed franchise used to know exactly what it was. A stealth action series with historical fiction at its core, framed by personal, emotionally driven character arcs. Now it feels like Ubisoft is just throwing every concept at the wall. RPG mechanics, open world fatigue, multi-protagonist stories, and hoping something sticks. And yeah, Shadows tries to do all of that, but none of it feels cohesive. It's like playing 3 half-baked games inside a giant world. Let's talk about the dual protagonist setup. Ubisoft has been toying with this for a while. Think Syndicate, Odyssey, Valhalla. With Shadows, Ubisoft misses. Naoe and Yasuke are completely different characters with completely different playstyles. And that could have been great if their stories actually complemented each other. Instead, it feels like 2 narratives awkwardly shoved together. One moment you're sneaking through the shadows as Naoe, the next you're bulldozing enemies as Yasuke. And there's no emotional or narrative thread tying it all together. Personally, I stuck with Naoe whenever the game let me. She's the assassin. She has the stealth. She has pretty mid parkour. But Yasuke, he's cool and all, but he belongs in a different game. He's a warrior, not an assassin. If I wanted to play as a samurai, I just load up Ghost of Tsushima, a game that nails that fantasy without pretending to be something it's not. Assassin's Creed used to be about hiding in plain sight, striking from the shadows. Now it's just giving you a giant tank of a man with a long katana and that little hammer thing and calling it evolution. Then there's the pacing, and it's rough. Ubisoft went with a non-linear structure again, so instead of experiencing Naoe's story chronologically, her childhood, her father, the fall of Iga, her discovery of the Brotherhood. We get it in broken flashbacks, out-of-sequence missions, and optional side objectives. It makes everything feel disjointed. You never get to live in the character's journey. You just get to see snippets of it, disconnected from any rising tension. They had all the pieces for a strong origin arc. A young girl trained in stealth, a brutal invasion that destroys her home, a chance at revenge and meaning through the assassins. That's a blueprint for emotional impact, but the game fumbles it with bad structure. They should have started with her as a kid, built her world, showed the loss firsthand, and then introduced Yasuke as a challenge to her beliefs. Instead, it's just narrative chaos. You get these brief, heavy moments, but they're spaced out and underdeveloped. By the time anything meaningful happens, you've already forgotten why it even matters. One of the weirdest decisions Ubisoft made was sidelining the actual creed. The Brotherhood, the whole ideology that the series is based on, barely shows up for hours. You spend a massive chunk of the game doing missions that have nothing to do with the war between the Assassins and the Templars. By the time they do introduce the creed, it feels tacked on. There's no build-up, no mystery, no philosophical weight. And look, I don't play Assassin's Creed just for the hood and the hidden blade. I play because the ideas behind the conflict matter. Free will, order versus chaos, control versus freedom. That's what gave the old games a soul. In Shadows, those themes barely show up. And when they do, they feel like boxes being checked rather than meaningful storytelling. Now the cutscenes, oh man, let's talk about the cutscenes, because besides maybe 5 solid motion captured scenes, most of the cutscenes in Shadows are robotic. Characters barely move, they stare straight ahead, their mouths flap, and then the game just dumps exposition on you. There's no tension, no flair, no effort to make you care. And then there's the dialogue, generic, repetitive. Characters speak in vague ideas or painfully obvious observations. It's like they're trying to sound deep but forgot to say anything important. Worse still are the transitions. I lost count of how many times a black screen completely killed the mood. Boss fight, black screen. Key story moment, black screen. It's like Ubisoft still hasn't figured out how to go from gameplay to cutscene without breaking immersion. This isn't just a nitpick, it adds up. And when your story is already struggling to connect, these things matter. Now, let's give credit where it's due. There was one moment that genuinely hit different. Yasuke's mission, end of the line, where he meets Nuno Karo. That mission, oh my, that one nailed it. The tone, the cinematography, the emotion, it all came together. It felt real, grounded, human. For just a few minutes, I saw the game Shadows was supposed to be, the one it kept hinting at but never fully became. It's honestly frustrating because if that level of quality had been consistent throughout, this review would have been completely different. But there's no polite way to say it. Assassin's Creed Shadows drops the ball. The story is incoherent, the pacing is a mess, and the cutscenes are so lifeless they might as well not exist. Ubisoft wants to sell this as an evolution of the series, but what we got feels like a rush experiment built on beautiful tech with no narrative backbone. This isn't innovation, it's distraction. When the Assassin's Creed name is reduced to a logo slapped on a sandbox and the story behind it is an afterthought, it's clear something has gone wrong. The fans deserve better. The series deserves better. And Shadows could have been that. If only Ubisoft can remember what made the creed worth following in the first place.